Hi, I'm Kamal Imani, and this is the Neat USA Show. Welcome back. And today we have a very special guest who is no stranger to our airwaves. She's been here before. She's doing humongous things in the entertainment world. And it's not just entertainment because it's reality-based. And I'm just going to introduce you one more time to someone who's blowing up so fast that I'm surprised she's even here. And her name is Miss Shannon Bellamy. Welcome, Shannon.
Hi, hello, welcome.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
A lot of things have changed since you first came here with a seminal idea, to manifest your dreams, by showing everyone something that happened in your reality.
Yes.
So you have the movie, no, not the movie, that's me, I'm jumping ahead.
It's coming.
You have the play, Pimps in the Pulpit. You have the
Yes.
book, Pimps in the Pulpit. You've been on Michael Bazin. You've been on all kinds of media, which you're going to tell us about because I can't keep up.
Yes.
I get those emails and I'm like, wow, but I'm very proud of you and I'm very happy for your success.
Thank you.
So tell us, for those who didn't see the last show, tell them about Pimps in the Pulpit and how it all got started.
Okay, Pimps in the Pulpit, the book, is my story about being in a mega church in Philadelphia and being in a relationship with my pastor who was married, who was my counselor. And I talk about how a person in a position in a therapeutic environment could find themselves being manipulated into a relationship. And I talk about some solutions as same-sex counseling or pastor-assisted counseling, where people can have more than 2 people in a room when it's counseling, and making it mandatory. It's a pandemic, as we know, with Bishop Eddie Long and those type of scandals that are coming out. They're more prevalent right now. So I touch on that. The book is completely fiction. Nonfiction. It's a true story with real names in it. I was extremely transparent in the book.
Wow.
The only way to look for resolve is to come out and be transparent to the world. And that's what I did. So I took that story and transcended it into a book.
And I know you got a lot of haters because of that, and disbelievers.
Well, there were some disbelievers until I put all the names in the book.
I see.
And there aren't any slander lawsuits against me. So
That's
I
good.
guess one would infer that everyone would concur that it's a true story.
Right, you know what you're doing, but I've got some hate. I've seen it on YouTube, and people say, "Well, you were involved, and you're just trying to profit." What do you say to people like that?
Well, people who say, "Well, you're just looking to profit," okay, what do they consider profit? I've made sacrifices unbeknownst to man to get my word out, to bring awareness to the situation. I traveled around this country in my truck, driving to places.
Right.
I've taken everything that I had, my life savings, and put it into this book. So what do they consider profiting?
Right, I hear you.
If their daughter, if it doesn't happen to their daughter, then I've done what I'm supposed to do.
No, I hear that.
Yeah.
The flip side of that is so many people, especially women, that have been through similar situations, and they can identify.
Yes.
And they contact you about that, right?
Yes, several hundreds of thousands of women who they thank me constantly. And any day I have a low and I think, well, oh my God, did I do the right thing by coming forward? I'll get 10 emails from women all over the country who'll tell me what it did for them and how it allowed them. One woman said that she went outside for the first time in months because she felt ashamed that she didn't even want to live anymore.
Right.
There are so many women who've been distraught behind being in these situations and being left in exile pretty much by themselves. Now they have a voice and they know it's just not them. So I've helped more than I've hurt.
Right.
And I'm peaceful with that.
Right. Now, I just want to clarify for the audience the gist of what happened, because we kind of went through that kind of quickly there. Basically, you needed counseling.
Yes, I went to my pastor for counseling. I had went through a very tumultuous divorce, and I had lost custody of 2 of my daughters, and I moved away 3 hours away for a new life. And basically I went to this new church. I started going to counseling with the pastor. After 9 months of counseling, I was selling real estate at the time. My broker, he mishandled my funds, and I found myself losing my home. Went to the church, asked them for help, and they couldn't, but my pastor said, listen, I'll help you buy some boxes to help you move. He came to my house. I was crying. I'm distraught. clearly I'm at the lowest point of my life, you know, making such a big transition, and then now losing my home a year later, and next thing you know, he's kissing me, we're on the floor having sex. And I reported it immediately to the bishop. I told the bishop, I said, he violated me. You know, at no time, I don't know anybody that is having this a traumatic situation going on in their life. Sex is something they're looking for and or want. Wrong, bad timing, wrong. It's wrong. And then it's almost as if it was fast forward. He convinced me that he was good for me, that he asked God for me, and that God would allow the relationship. And he used the Bible to twist the word of God in order to make me believe what he said. And I wouldn't have thought that he was lying to me, because he's a man of God. You know, you revere the man of God so much. We put such high stakes in them that I wouldn't have thought he was lying to me. And I found myself just so convinced that by the time I realized that it was false, now I was in love with this man. I loved him as much as his wife did. Now I'm emotional. I can't get out.
Right. So. And I've witnessed certain things, not on your level, but, you know, dealing with authority figures, and especially spiritual or religious ones. You know, we look up to them, you know, but you know, I'm a Virgo. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Taurus.
Yeah, Taurus, you know, and we're both analytical, you know, and after a while, I start seeing through people, but it hurts. You know, it's like, wait, I was like looking up to you, and, you know, I let my guard down, and now I'm finding all this funky stuff about you.
Exactly.
You know?
It is. It's extremely disturbing when you put everything into a person, and when you are really sincere about wanting to do the right thing, and then you find out that person mishandled something that you gave them that was so precious, that hurts. You know, and it's not about hurting anybody. And he himself might have found himself caught up. He said he lost his way. I don't know how you pastor loses his way when you preach that morning, you know, but a lot of pastors, it become very mundane, their jobs. When I said to him, I said, why don't your wife counsel with you? He said, it's my job, not her job. But it's not a job, it's a ministry. We come to you because it's a ministry. So a lot of pastors, I find, not all, but a lot, take preaching a job. They're getting a paycheck, they do their time, and they go home. They don't really get involved with the ministry aspect like they used to anymore, because it's so mega. Everything is mega. It's mega money. You know, it's all about the people and the numbers. And they get themselves in these big bills, these big churches, these big expenses. So now they have to keep it up in order to be able to take care of these lifestyles.
Right. I've met some preachers too, you know, off hours.
And
it's like, well, I'm scared of you. You mean?
Yeah, you can imagine. So hopefully, my prayer is that something good will come out of this. You know, thus we have the stage play that will be coming January at the Temple Baptist Theater in Philadelphia, which is now the Temple Performing Arts Center. They just changed their name. But we have a cast of 30 people. We also have Tu Ray, who's a well-known comedian, and Buck Wild, who's a well-known comedian as well, and Jeanette Dubois. She's from Patti LaBelle's Clash of the Choirs. And I'll be in the play myself.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little something.
Who is playing you?
Renetta Renee.
That was a good pick.
Yeah, and I did not know her. Everyone said that she resembles me. She has a character. She's a Taurus as well. I didn't even know her. She came to an open call audition. She was the very first person to audition, so she was a hard act to follow. There were tons that came, but they all fell short. It was destined for her. So I'm very, very happy.
Are no coincidences.
No.
God is good.
I'm very, very pleased with her. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. There's a point that I don't want to miss.
Yes, please.
And that's when you said that there should be like more people in the counseling room.
Yes.
You know, I think that's very important. Like I work at a school and I work with emotionally challenged children. And, you know, we always try to have an extra person there, a witness.
Right, exactly.
You know, and that's for everyone's protection.
It is, and it's important. You know, originally I felt that same-sex counseling would be the answer, because you'd have men counseling men, women counseling women, but clearly after the big scandal with Bishop Eddie Long, that is not the answer. The only answer is to have more than 2 people in the room. You have to have another person in the room, and it has to be mandatory. Otherwise, pretty much anything can happen and anything can go.
So what advice do you give to young men and young women who have been abused and coerced, and
into these situations. The first thing is to forgive themselves, that it's not their fault and they have nothing to be ashamed of, and that it's okay. It's okay to continue to live. It's okay to start over. You can consistently reposition yourself. Do not let anyone make them feel they're any less of a person than what they are. Their perception is their reality. It doesn't mean that it's true.
That's good. That's real good. Malcolm X said, when you fall down, get back up.
That's right.
It's simple, but it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So,
well, go ahead.
Oh, so the next thing is in the spring we're going to start shooting a movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I need to be extra at least.
Yeah, we'll have to get you up in there. Might have to have you play with those pastors.
As long as I don't got to wear a dress. Right?
Oh, no. We have Nico Sebastian to do that as Chevet in the play.
Okay.
Yeah, the play has a lot of comedic tone to it.
Okay.
It's good. It's a good, serious story, but we do have some comedy for you.
All
We
right.
do. And with the movie, we're going to do the same thing. We basically want to touch the people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking for national promoters at this point, tour directors to kind of get us out there. We anticipate going on tour after our January inception.
Okay.
So even if I have to do it independently, we're going to make it happen.
Okay.
I went on my book tour. I was gone for 8 months, and it was phenomenal. Very well received around the country. Very well received.
That's great.
Yes.
What cities did you visit?
Atlanta, Chicago, South Carolina. We were in Columbia, Jackson, Richmond, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, New York, Miami, Alabama. So I've been up and down this coast.
That's good.
It's been good. It's been really good.
And she has a van that's wrapped.
A truck, expedition,
truck.
yeah.
Yeah, she did it, hip hop style.
I sure did.
And you can't miss it. And I was like, she's a strong promoter, and that's what's up for everybody out there that has a dream and a goal.
Right.
You can't just have something on your desk or on your computer.
That's right.
You got to get it out there. It's not easy, but you got to do it by any means necessary.
Exactly. Sacrifice a little bit at a time if you have to. When I started my truck, I had magnets on it at first. Then I took that truck and I wrapped the back of it. Then I got the side of it. Now the whole thing is pimped out. And I'm not ashamed of what I'm doing. And that's what a lot of women, they want to point the finger. But I'm very boastful about it and extravagant about it because I have nothing to be ashamed of anymore.
Right.
See, it's power. I'm giving power to someone else when I'm ashamed of what I'm doing.
Right. I have to say this.
What?
NAACP, Essence Awards, y'all need to check out Shannon Bellamy. Don't front, you know what I mean? Because this is a strong sister. I know her for a long time. She's always been strong, so strong that she's been quite intimidating to men who thought that they were all that. And she's getting stronger, wiser, and even more polished, and I appreciate you.
Thank
and
you.
I'm glad to have met you and that you're part of my life. And if you blow up, no, only playing.
Listen, I'm already, I'm going to have lunch with Tyler at some point, and lunch with Oprah.
See that? She's on win. She's on
visualization,
affirmation.
Absolutely.
That's
Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, we're going to do lunch.
Yeah.
Lionsgate, we'll be doing business meetings.
What's up.
So,
Tyler Perry, what's up?
Yeah. So, we can do lunch. We can talk. I'm going to, this weekend, to Orlando, Florida, to the National Playwrights Convention. So I'm going to be with playwrights all over the country this weekend.
Go ahead.
That's right. Decreasing that learning curve. That's right. You got to know your craft.
That's true.
That's right.
And tell us about your experience with Michael Baisden.
Michael Baisden, he's amazing. People, the world is torn behind Michael Baisden, but he's amazing. He's been a major advocate. He's been very neutral. He's very neutral. He's about what's right. And people are constantly calling me, telling me, oh, I heard you on Michael Baisden in my city, because there's different shows in different places. So he talks about it. He still re-airs the show. So he's been very good, very vital. Everybody knows, they hear about it. So he's been good. He's been very good and amazing. He's doing a lot now, even with children, and making it so that children are not afraid to speak up about it. Even Monique has done the same thing. I put her Oscar Award acceptance speech on my website, shannonbellamy.com, so that people see that it's okay to forego doing what's popular to do what's right.
Right. Right. And what other media have you been on?
Oh, the front cover of the Daily News.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a 4-page article. Yes.
That's big.
Yeah, that was huge. I was actually on tour in Atlanta, and I got a phone call from Philadelphia, and somebody said, "Why are you on my doorstep?" I'm like, I didn't know when exactly it was running. And I said, "What do you mean?" Like, "Oh my God, you're in a bathing suit with the pastor on the front cover of the newspaper." So it was amazing that I missed being there because I was on tour, but I just would have loved to just see all the pictures of all the papers all around the tri-state area. But they sold out every copy, so it was good.
Okay.
So I've done the Daily News, and I was on the front cover of the Bermuda Sun newspaper, the Philadelphia Tribune. So a lot of the newspapers in Philadelphia, they are all on it. In New York, they actually they did a rewrite in New York and in DC. So, which has been really good. I even went to the Black Caucus this year. Okay. Yes, there are a lot of promotions down there. My promotions team, we're out there. If it's moving, we're on it.
That's serious.
Absolutely. So, and radio interviews, just so many you can't even name.
You mentioned ABC, right?
Yes, I just did an exclusive interview with Lisa Thomas Laurie, who's an anchor on ABC Action News in Philadelphia. She's been there for 26 years. So that was a great interview. Great interview. You know, so it's been good.
Right.
It's been good. Next up is NBC. Okay. So we'll be sitting down talking with them. But we're gonna keep on going. You know, CNN is what I want. I want some of CNN.
All right.
Yeah, even if it's just a little bit. CNN would be very nice. But I'm gonna keep on plugging at it and bringing awareness to the situation, because we need to have more accountability. You know, there is so much politics in church.
Right.
There's so much corruption in churches and in politics that the government really needs to step in. Even though they say there's a separation, it's not really much of a separation.
That's serious.
Yes.
The government, huh?
Yeah, they really do. They really do. I mean, it's billions of dollars in this industry, and the churches are playing dirty to get it. And these are people's lives. You know, we go to our churches because we're looking for something. So we are higher calling. We're looking for them to help us get to that, to connect. We want to do that with the sincerity. We don't want you misleading us, taking our children, raping our girls, raping our sons.
Right.
We want to come there to get what we're supposed to get without all the other stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have another book that's out, right?
Breaking the Silence, it'll be out in a couple of weeks, which is the sequel. It's a sequel to Pimps in the Pulpit. It is the beginning. What I did was, I've had a lot of scrutiny from women about Pimps in the Pulpit, and, oh, you slept with a married man, you knew he was married, or how could you be so dumb? You don't look dumb, you look very intelligent. Well, what they didn't know is that I've been blessed and fortunate where you don't see my past, but being a survivor of being raped at the age of 5, again at the age of 9, 11 from my mother's boyfriend, being left home at the age of 15, physically beaten for 7 years by my son's father, who was 17 years older than I am. You don't know why people do the things they do. I had been looking and searching and running, looking for love, and finally, you know, my pastor, who was somebody who doesn't want anything from me, who just wants to help me, I finally felt like I was at a place in my life where I could stop running. I could just go to church and focus on God. I didn't have to worry about this man looking at me, trying to touch me, trying to violate me. And he became the biggest offender. So people don't realize there are things in people's lives in their past that pretty much are reasons why they do the things they do as an adult. But you don't know. That's a very private part of my life that people would not know unless I told them. So because of that, I wrote Breaking the Silence to bring that to their awareness, to show them a little girl at the age of 9, and show in the book there's a picture of me at the age of 9, so they can identify with that child, which will help them identify with their daughters, that they might want to have talks with their daughters. So that when they become adults, these things don't happen.
A lot of people in our community, and probably just the greater American culture, have a lot of secrets.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a lot of domestic violence, a lot of incest, a lot of rape, abuse, child abuse, you know, and it goes under the radar.
All the time.
And sometimes right under the mother's nose, you know, or whatever it might be, you know, and then if it's not the father, it's the uncle, it's the stepfather. And people need to watch who's around them.
That's right.
And stop being so blind. And then sometimes people get so religious that they don't want to see something, or they can't see something that's real right in front of them.
Exactly.
You know, and it's not just the religion, but sometimes it's just fear, sometimes it's generational, you know, and, you know, we really have to stop it.
That's right.
So what you're doing is a great thing to get the conversation going.
Exactly.
You know, the dialogue, because it's very necessary. I see it where I work, you know, and it's just really, really sad, you know, and I see children that are shell-shocked, you know, and then when it happens to children, they have to get on all kind of medication.
Absolutely.
And things like that.
That's their answer now. They give them medication. Nobody really talks to them. A friend of mine, she works in a school, and she takes care of children who've been mentally and physically abused. And she said the girls that come in there 12 and 13 that are having sex, that can tell her more about sex than she knows herself, it's mind-blowing. You know, I have 3 daughters, and for my daughters to be virgin, my daughter's 17 and she's in college already, and for her to be a virgin, that's a full-time job. I'm on it. You know, my son is 21 and he was 18, but I was on it.
That's a miracle.
Okay, exactly. You know, he probably was mad then, but he's happy now. You know, so they don't understand. Like, it's a full-time job for me. I don't take it lightly. I want my daughters to have the opportunity to choose. I want them to choose. You want your children to choose. You don't want anyone to violate them. But if you don't talk to them, and if you're not aware of what's going on in your life, then it can happen. That's why Pimps in the Pulpit is very necessary.
Yes.
Breaking the silence is necessary. I had this one girl, 21, went on Facebook and said to me, "Oh, you're stupid. It would never happen to me." Well, no, it won't happen to you, because now you know. So guess what? Now, because you know about my story, it won't. Because if it approaches you, you'll say, "Oh my God, I would never go for it," but you might go for it had you had not known.
Right.
Because nobody's going to come to you and just say, "Hey, give me this."
Right, and now that you know, you still might go for it, because it doesn't come when you're ready.
Exactly.
You know,
when you're
how
looking
life
for
is,
it.
Right. It's just like somebody that didn't expect to lose their job and now their house is in foreclosure. They never saw that.
Exactly.
They didn't see a husband coming and start hitting on them all of a sudden.
No,
and,
exactly.
You know, when they were married and getting married and courting, everything was fine, and now something goes wrong and now he's beating you up. They didn't see that coming.
Exactly.
You know, so things like that happen when we're weak. You know, and then a certain person comes and takes advantage of you when you're weak, and I mean weak.
Yeah.
You know.
That's right. That's right. People go through a lot, and now in a time where people are losing everything, people are weak, and they're willing to do practically anything. People are not thinking rationally. You have no idea what's going on in people's minds.
That's right.
You know, people are dying because they're unhappy. Like, you're like, why did the person die? They were unhappy.
Right. That's true.
You know, they're stressed out, beyond stress.
Yes.
You know, I refuse to allow anything to stress me. You know, people, they can be negative, but it's okay. Because for the 10 people who are negative, there's one person who is very happy about what I'm doing. And as long as I can look at my daughters and know that they're proud of their mother, my son is proud of his mother, my children are not ashamed to say, "My mommy wrote this book," I'm okay.
Right.
I'm okay with that in the world.
Right, that's what's up. It's a family. You know, the family is what it's all about, and then you build the community.
That's
you know,
right.
first it's self.
That's right.
Then the family, then
That's
the
right.
community. Yeah, there was something I wanted to say. It just slipped my mind. But okay, we're gonna wrap it up real soon. We got a few minutes, so let's make sure we touch on some key points. Let the people know. All right, so it's Pimps in the Pulpit.
Yes.
It's ShannonBellamy.com.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know if they can focus in on this. You know, this is a beautiful flyer. You're doing your thing, promotion-wise. And that's another question I had, though.
Yes.
Will you be bringing it up here to northern New Jersey?
Well, the plan is probably go to Symphony Hall, because the Beacon is pretty big, too big.
Okay.
Now, I won't say it's too big, but I'm not ready for the Beacon yet. I'll let the Nationals come and take me to the Beacon. But I do believe that we're going to try and do Symphony Hall, do the weekend in Symphony Hall in the spring. So that is the plan, coming to Symphony Hall, yes.
Okay, so you know we're going to represent.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're going to make sure we got our street team up here and we're going to blaze everything moving and shaking, because we got Philadelphia on lock. I have a solid team of people who support and support me with everything I do. So I'm blessed to be around a litany of people who support me. That is so important.
Has Philadelphia radio embraced you?
Oh, Philadelphia's been good. They've been good.
Okay.
They've been good. I was just on Jonesy.
All right.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Hello, Jonesy. Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah, Jonesy. I was on Miss Jones in the morning. It was a 3-hour interview.
What?
They aired it 5 times.
Wow.
Took her ratings over the top.
Wow.
Because she was Jonesy. Yeah, so it was exciting. You know, we taped it in like 2 days. The first day I went there, nice suit and everything, pretty conservative, and she started swinging. I was like, whoa, trying to duck. So when we took the next one, the next day, I came in there with some sweats, hair, and a ponytail. Like, all right, let's do it. Because she was real rah-rah with it. I'm like, really?
Oh,
yeah, but, you know, she's like, look, I'm just doing my job. But it was fun. It was fun. It was exciting, exhilarating. It was good. So it was a great interview. Yeah, so Philadelphia has been good. You know, except Patty Jackson. Patty Jackson won't touch it. She's the big girl down there.
Okay.
Yeah, because she, you know, she does a lot of work with the churches there, so it's political for her.
Right,
you know, she does a lot of work with the churches. She spoke about Eddie Long, Bishop Eddie Long, but I guess because he's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And in Philadelphia, the church pretty much feeds her and have her out hosting events, so she don't want to touch a cash flow, touching Pimps in the Pulpit so close. So, you know, it's all right. You know, I guess when I come to CNN, you know, they'll make her interview me, you know, whatever. Or once I'm sitting across from Tyler, I guess she'll have no choice. But we'll see. We're going to keep on rolling. I'm not going to let anything stop me.
I see.
Yeah.
We're going to call you Shannon Superstar Bellamy.
Hey, I'll take whatever. I'm just working hard and hoping that someone can be helped by what I'm doing.
Right, right. You know, they used to say, I used to think it sounded corny when they used to say, oh, even if I could just touch one person. Yeah. But I see how hard it is to touch one person with all the bureaucracy, red tape, politics and things. You know, you try to, and even just haters. Oh, yeah. You know, you're trying to touch about 20 people, and all kind of stuff is going to come up to get in the way.
Absolutely.
So you get that one, you know, and then that person gets strong, and they can help somebody else. And it all works out.
Yeah, so I'm praying that, you know, at the end of the day, when they read the books, you know, they read my story, they find out who I am, they come to the productions, they can leave and get something out of it, and it can start a conversation that can stop a lot of what's happening in our families across the country, and we can make a difference.
All right. Well, it comes highly recommended. You know, Kwanzaa time is here, Christmas, Hanukkah. You know, this is the perfect gift. And then, you know, just for sweet 16s and birthdays, it's a perfect gift. And and I think that every preacher should get this book and read it. Every congregation should get the book and read it.
They should, because if nothing else, it's going to cause them to tighten their belts. And more accountability. So just in case a pastor was treading a little, well, thinking, well, maybe I might do this because I can. Just look at the effect you can have on somebody's life. So if it stops them, then it's all worth it. It's all worth it. Wow. You know, there are some pastors who have embraced the book and they've actually read it. They've talked about it with their congregations that are really about their business. They don't have a problem with it. You know, it's just really the ones who are like, oh my gosh, she didn't pull the wolves off. You know, she didn't mess up my player's card. You know, they have a little problem with it. But for the most part, for the church community, they haven't closed their doors. You know, for the ones that have, there's really few. There's few, because there's so many stories of pastors. If you just Google church scandals, oh my God, the amount that comes up. I was devastated one night. I sat there and ran at least 100 stories and could not believe it. I'm talking in the black community. They didn't think we did it. They thought it was just the Catholics. But in the black community, there's lawsuits everywhere. Everywhere. Like for me, it was never about the money. I wrote my book first. And then we had a lawsuit against the church. And whether I get anything or not from the church, it's not about that. It's about the principle. So that's why the book is here and now the play. Okay.
Well, Shannon Bellamy, we thank you once again.
ShannonBellamy.com.
Next time you have your security up in here. And, you know, I'll be
have some. Oh, yeah.
So thanks once again.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
ShannonBellamy.com.